following podcast is recorded and produced by Emerge, a media creators co-op, in affiliation with the network at bicbp-radio.com.
Alrighty, welcome to episode 7 of the Big Yak Podcast. This is your host, Mike Pareto, and alongside us we have Nico. Nico's back from his Washington, D.C. trip. Yeah, and then we have special guest, Jules Houston, host of the Stig Podcast.
Mr. Stig's in the flesh, how are you?
I'm good. I was caught off guard when you asked me. I was like, I ain't doing nothing. I'm about to clear my schedule if I had to do anything. Like, I want to be here because I like what y'all guys are doing, man. It's real nice that we all can use our own platform and give out knowledge, even if it's just for laughs and just some random stuff out there. But I got something for both of y'all actually. I seen the script. I got something for both of y'all.
Okay. I've said this multiple times across. I think I said it on the show, and I've just said it throughout, that when a podcast listener listens to podcasts, they don't just listen to one. They listen to every little bit of content they can get their hands on. So why not, everyone put their hand in the pot. We share the wealth, reach out to every podcast. I mean, kind of use our podcast and our platform for other creators and other content producers for their good too.
Yeah.
So, you got a podcast yourself, Stig's Podcast on, is it Spotify, Apple?
Just about everywhere I want to say, besides I don't have it on YouTube like you guys. Working on that, but I do it by myself, just on a desk, and it's a lot of work. Like, I'll be trying to tell people, I get it, it's hard. Like trying to commit to it, to commit to a schedule is it's crazy, and people don't realize how much work really go into it, and trying to get a script every week is man, I gotta get something out there, but it's fun. I just did a life update, so I said I have a daughter on the way, so
yes,
that's something that's pretty exciting for me. I think about it every day, every minute of the day. It's what can I do for her? What can I do differently? What can I learn? And I'm trying to write some stuff. I was a writer before I started doing podcasts, so I'm happy to be here. Like I said, we all are doing the same thing, and I think that all of us are so different, and in terms of even to takes, and I know I busted your balls about, some Josh Allen stuff, and, me and Mike go at it here and there, not often, because Mike kind of shy away from it a little bit, but, here, usually once a season we get into it, so I'm hyped to see what we got planned for today.
Yeah, this is for the OG Stigs fans. Jules wrote a book.
Yeah, I wrote a book.
It was a good book, too.
Yes, sir.
It was a solid book. It was a narrative, it was good.
I wasn't too impressed after I reread it. I was like, man, I could have did so much better. But like I said, it was my first book. I'm definitely planning on doing more. I don't know, you heard on the episode. I'm trying to write a TV show.
Yep.
Developing characters. Got Mike Pareto, the jock, in there.
Hey.
But we'll see how it goes. I mean, it's one sentence almost at a time sometimes, because I really don't want to force anything out. That's kind of what I did with my book, so one day at a time.
That was my senior year. My thesis, they call it capstones at Syracuse, but I had to write a TV show script, so I wrote the pilot for a workplace comedy, and it's 35 pages of straight content. It's tough, and that's just for 30 minutes.
Yeah,
let alone
crazy.
If you're writing a movie, you got to think a page a minute. So if you're trying to write a 90-minute movie, that's 90 to 100 pages that you have to write, and it's no joke.
And I reached out to you remember when I was trying to get the script writing down. I'm just I did a page. I'm this is awful. Do 2 pages. All right, this is awful. I don't know how to do this. So I try to take it the pitch now, maybe a script, see what I could do after that. But I commend people that can actually sit down and write a show, even if it takes years and years. I've worked hard to get the plot down and to all right, this is something people could relate to. But like I said, I reached out to you. You helped me a lot,
Yeah.
I think everything that you said, the descriptive words, and literally describing everything, a sound, even an action, a piece of clothing, stuff like that. So that helped a lot.
I appreciate that. I take pride in my storytelling, so it means a lot for it to kind of come into fruition.
Yeah. How was Washington D.C.? I'm gonna ask you about that.
Washington D.C. was great. So, like you did in Philadelphia, me and Molly went to see The Weeknd, and when I tell you that was the best concert,
I told
I've
you,
ever been
man.
to, like,
I told you.
That's straight. Like, I thought I was gonna overhype it, but no. Like you said, we had all these wristbands, and to Blinding Lights and another song that every person lit up in the entire audience.
Everybody's just singing,
Lights.
and
it's surreal. But the rest of the trip was great. I also got to see home of Carson Wentz, FedEx Field. So,
I saw a funny video of them. I was gonna tag you in it. I was gonna be like, "Is this your boy?"
Oh my God, dude! He's doing splits.
Yes.
He's going crazy. Like I'm like, all right, man,
it's my
you
boy.
going dummy.
Yeah. I don't know who it was. It was just some like random.
And then somebody joined in. It was like, all right, I'm about to go. Like, I mean, they're athletic. I get it, but like, I guess if that's what they're practicing.
If I could do a split, yeah, I'm flexing.
That's what I said.
If
like,
I'm flexing,
them,
every
going,
possibility, every party I go to, yep, I'm splitting. I don't care.
Every time.
Let's do this 2-minute drill, man.
All right, I'm ready.
All right, let me pull
Let's
up the
go.
timer. Let me pull up the timer.
All right, yeah. So everybody knows 2-minute drill. We got 2 minutes on the clock, and me and Nico are gonna go back and forth and ask Jules a bunch of random questions he doesn't know. Well, he's gonna. Well,
He'll know 'em.
He'll know them, but he doesn't know what questions they are.
All right, you go first, Mike. Ready? In 3, 2, 1, go.
All right. NFL asks on-field officials to focus on illegal contact fouls during the 2022 season. Last season, 37 fouls were called. Over or under 50 illegal contact calls?
Over. Usually when the league does stuff like that, they kind of just throw some BS out there. So I expect a lot in the first couple of weeks and then kind of tone down throughout the season.
Michael Thomas is reported to be having a fantastic training camp. How many yards has he finished with this season?
I'm gonna say just over 1K. I think this is a year where he's trying to slowly gets back into it. They're a slow-paced offense, so I think they'll kind of ease him into it.
Okay. Christian McCaffrey is on a step count. How big is Chuba Hubbard's role this year and beyond?
A lot of people know I was a CMC guy for a long time. I was always drafting him, but I mean it's good to see that they're actually managing his health. It may be too late though. I think those injuries did a number on him. If you're not having him under 20 carries, then something's wrong. I say 20 touches. He shouldn't be touching the ball more than 20 times.
Chuba Hubbard over or under 750 yards?
Under. I'm going to say under.
Patrick Mahomes reported saying that Mecole Hardman is starting to fill Tyreek Hill's spot on the roster. Are you high or low on the Chiefs wide receivers as a whole this year?
I'm pretty low on a lot of guys. Like, only guy I'm pretty high on is Sky Moore right now. That's the only guy I'm really looking at right now. But I think it's Travis Kelce and Clyde Edwards-Hilaire's offense right now.
Okay. Justin Tucker signed a 4-year, $24 million contract extension, making him the highest paid kicker. Too high or too low?
Too low. I think he should get $100 million. He saved the Ravens way too many times. I mean, like that game against the Lions, if they would have lost that game, their season probably would have been a little bit different. I mean, in terms of how much confidence they had going throughout the season, but I mean, they did fall apart towards the end. But like a game like that, you've seen the true Lamar Jackson, I think.
Von Miller on Instagram trying to recruit OBJ to the Bills. Where does OBJ play this season?
He plays in Buffalo for sure. I think Von Miller influence on Odell and a lot of guys in locker rooms. I think he just is a likable guy, and Odell is also a likable guy, and he looks huge this year. I mean, if you guys get him, it might be, I don't know, man. I don't want to say the Bills win the Super Bowl.
Scary.
I really don't, but
scary.
He looks huge, man. So I think you guys get him.
Okay.
And it was just over 2 minutes. You got all 6.
There you go. Let's go.
All right.
Yeah. Last week I had so I had my dad and my brother on, and I tried to put both of them in the drill at the same time, and I'm like looking at the timer. I'm like, yo, like the timer
We're at
was
6
done.
minutes.
The timer was done, and like I didn't even get through half of them. And I'm like, yeah, but
Jules is up there with the likes of who was it? Was it Sean and Vranek?
Yeah.
I think Brandick went crazy. He went crazy.
Yeah,
he's
went
a quick talker. I was like, I don't think I would beat him. But
He was moving.
as long as I beat Taj Lee. So Taj Lee, if you listen to this, I beat you. So that's all that matters.
yeah. Before we go on to our next segment, just want to talk a little bit about Cleveland Browns football. I know you're a fan. Just a little bit like how do you feel about them going forward? I know there's
the state of the Cleveland Browns.
I know there's a lot of obviously Deshaun Watson, but try to go around the Deshaun Watson stuff if you could. But if not, feel free to elaborate.
Open it up.
I'm nervous. All right, I'll be honest. I'm nervous for the season because Kareem Hunt just requested a trade, and Kareem Hunt was probably going to be one of our best receivers on the team, one of the best playmakers on the team as well. So I get why. I think it's an ego thing more than a money thing. He wants to be paid, but also I think he wants the touches. You don't want to. He's almost sitting all the first quarters. You come in, it's like you got the fresh legs, but at what cost? The team may be down 10 points.
It's like the same idea as like a starting pitcher and a relief pitcher. They use that analogy a lot with Tua and Ryan Fitzpatrick at the time, but honestly, it looks and I think it works better in the running back shoes where you have Nick Chubb as your starting runner, and then you got Kareem Hunt to fill it up, fresh legs like you said. But it's interesting that he wants out of it, but I get it. I totally get it.
I think it's an ego thing because. Like last year, he was hurt a lot, but when he was on the field, we looked great. We looked like a competent offense. We looked like we had the players in place. Even though a lot of injuries were throughout the season, he was out for 2 different stretches at a time, missed both Ravens games. So for him, I think it's that, he has to be out there because if he's not out there, then that's when he's like, he's going to get hurt. The times you're out there, he's trying to run as hard as he can. 8-10 carries a game. I'm not going to touch the ball in the fourth quarter, so I got to go out there and go hard in the second quarter, maybe the third if they get a chance. But I'm nervous, as guys like David Bell who went on the PUP list. He's supposed to be our Jarvis replacement. Now we don't have him. David Njoku hasn't played as a tight end 1 spot. Now we got to focus on him. We got good corners, we got a good defensive line. But after that, like you said, leave out the Deshaun Watson stuff. But Jacoby Brissett.
How do you feel about him through 6 games? I mean,
I don't even want to feel anything about him through 6 quarters. So I mean, if he starts, I'll be rooting for him. Like just get through these games. But I know we open up against the Panthers, and it sucks because Baker probably will get his revenge against Jacoby Brissett. But in hindsight,
reports out of training camp, Baker's gonna take that spot.
Yeah, it's looking like it.
Yeah. Before, I mean, speaking on Kareem Hunt. Where do you see Kareem Hunt going? Like, what would be a good situation for him if you guys do trade him?
I had 2 teams in mind. Now, the first team obviously is the Eagles. I think the Eagles are the favorite. They're a team I feel like that can give up just about anything to help Jalen Hurts. But another team I'm thinking of right now that will pay him, use him as a running back 1, is the Texans. I think the Texans are a team. If they want to help Davis Mills as much as possible, they get a guy like Kareem Hunt that could fill his shoes, and they got plenty of cap room. I mean, they got money to blow. They have literally nobody on the offense as is, so why not try to go after Kareem Hunt?
I'm taking a look ahead at the Browns' first 6 games for Jacoby Brissett. It's Carolina, Jets, Steelers, Falcons, Chargers, Patriots. I mean, take away the Chargers, and you have a solid schedule for him to
might take a couple more of those teams. Might have to because Jacoby Brissett, he's pretty familiar with the Patriots. He played against them last year, and he played with them his first couple years. So I think I will say at best, I think we do go 2-4, and
at best 2-4.
Yes, at best 2-4, and I can't tell you the wins. I would love for it to be the Panthers and the Falcons. Obviously, the Panthers. I don't want Baker to get his revenge because it's not on a full strength Browns team, and I feel like he's not sticking it to nobody. So if we can get that one out the way, that's early win, and we get to win out the Falcons. But Steelers might rough him up. Chargers are gonna rough him up. The Patriots, they send everybody, so it's like I'm ready to just get it all over with, just as quick as these 6 games get through. And plus, I work on Sundays, so I won't have to see the worst of it.
You can just hear about it later.
Yeah, I'll hear about it from y'all later. I'm like, oh my God, Jacoby Brissett threw another pick. I'm like, what do you mean another pick?
What about Josh Rosen, man?
Josh Rosen taking over week 4. Week 4, yeah.
Boy. Josh Rosen versus the Patriots.
Nah, you got the Falcons. That's a revenge game.
They
cut him. So it's season of revenge right now.
This is kind of off script, but I'm just thinking in my head, looking back at that 2018 quarterback class: Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Josh Rosen, Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold. And people have said this time and time again, but it's so astounding to me that people before the draft were saying that this was like one of the greatest quarterback classes of all time. And who do we have to show for it now? We have Josh Allen, who's great, and Lamar Jackson, who's great. But beyond that, I mean...
Yeah, it ends there. And it's crazy because those are 2 guys that were passed on by teams that were swearing they were going to take them, When I think Josh Allen was, all right, I may go to the Bills, but if I don't go to the Bills, I'll probably go to the Jets. And then he didn't go not the Bills. I'm sorry, the Browns or the Jets. He didn't go to either or, and he went to the Bills.
Yeah, he was
traded up for him.
Pick.
So that gives you confidence as an NFL player to like, all right, they traded up for me. They want me bad. And then Lamar, he had to wait the entire first round.
I remember
the cameras on him.
I remember those
every single time. It's
those
like,
memes that are coming
oh my god, I was concerned for him, but I'm happy. I'm not happy he went to the Ravens. I mean, obviously divisional foe, but if it was a team he should go to,
the Ravens were a perfect fit.
Perfect fit, and they went all in on Lamar Jackson. Yep. So, and he's evolving now. So I mean, like there's those two, and then it's Baker, and then it's Darnold.
It gets low,
and
man.
Then it's rolling way down there. So I don't know. I would
Mason Rudolph's going to take the league by storm.
Mason Rudolph.
Stealing the starting job.
I heard he was taking first team reps. I don't know what it means.
He's number 2 right now in the depth chart.
He is technically Mitch Trubisky and Mason Rudolph.
That's so bad. I think Mason Rudolph.
Steelers will still find a way to go 9.
That's it. They'll find a way to be 9-8, and T.J. Watt will be a running back
by
week 7, so it don't even matter.
And a tight end.
Yeah, he's gonna play everywhere.
They got him in Wildcat.
He's gonna be that year that J.J. was doing everything. That's what he's gonna have to do.
Yeah. Let's go into our fantasy.
Oh man,
our fantasy segment.
3 of us specifically have been in a lot of leagues.
We got a lot of memories over the years.
Yeah, a lot. Wow.
Let's talk about some stories, man. You got any stories for us? I know you probably do.
All right, so this is the segment. I got something for both of y'all. All right, so I kind of combined in one for this one. So Mike had his league going. I think it might have been first year. So I know y'all. The name Silent Hill haunts y'all forever because I went 13-1 or like 12-2, something like that, and I was the first seed. And Mike was the second seed.
Yeah.
Mike usually dominates his own league, so that should tell you everything you need to know.
Wow.
But he was the second seed, and Nico was the third seed. So it was the top 3 of us, and then the rest of the league was like just kind of guys here and there, but nothing too crazy. So Nico was matched up against the 6th seed, and he obviously won. So I'm stressing.
Obviously.
I'm like, Nico had a great team. I mean, he made some crazy moves, and that's where the big baller bean came from.
That's the birth of big baller bean.
He was making crazy trades. I'm like, this dude is going so hard to just take us out. Like,
the best thing was, I wasn't even like proposing those trades.
Yeah, it just happened.
People were just giving me players, and I'm like, I'm not gonna. I forget what it was at the time. It might have. I can't even remember who it was.
I can't even remember the
something
people either.
Absolutely ridiculous. Like, think of like a modern day. Like, I just got Jonathan Taylor, and I gave away.
Yeah, like Brandon Cooks.
And
let's say
Brandon Cooks and
T.Y. Hilton.
Dawson Knox.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Like, but that's exactly what happened, and you were going hard to take us all out. So like, our matchup was like, all right, whoever wins this is probably gonna win the whole league.
Yep.
And if I remember correctly, Tyreek Hill had 3 touchdowns. It was a 1 o'clock game. Yeah. And he basically threw in the towel. I think I scored about 150 that week, and
I got smoked.
And
absolutely smoked.
It was bad. Then I had Mike, and Mike.
It was bad.
Mike also did very badly.
I crapped the bed.
I think his best player was his kicker. I think that was a Fairbairn.
Jaime Fairbairn.
I was stressing. So I had a player on Sunday Night Football, and I remember I had 90, I think, and you had 88, and I had a player left. And I want to say it might have been a quarterback or running back. Somebody that could lose 2 points, I should say. So I'm pretty sure I benched the player so I could ensure they had to win, no stat corrections, so I ended up winning the league. So I remember that year just like us 3 just dominating the entire year, and that was just literally like what the league was. Us 3 at the top, and then the rest of the league was just down there.
Does that continue?
Continue this year? I would say, I mean, actually on the spot right now, Mike, pick 107. Who you taking? Since he wanted to make a trade today to jump over people, who you taking at 107, man?
I don't know, man. I have a couple of, like, when I was sitting there at 109, when I gave up Najee, I don't know if
you gotta break this down.
Yeah, because I don't know if Nico remembers.
I am
not
caught up.
If he does.
I wasn't really, to be honest, I wasn't looking at my phone. I was on vacation.
Yeah, so over the weekend, or it was like last week, dude,
Thursday.
it was, Thursday. Bro, like, in his fantasy league, we just started going crazy. Like, mad trades broke out.
I kept looking at my watch. A trade has been completed. A trade has been completed.
Like, a trade is
bro,
now pending.
it's like 11:30 at night. What's going on?
Yeah, it was like, I was at the gym. I was really at the gym working out, and, like, all these trades are going. I'm like, I got to do something. Like,
yeah.
So then our friend Dame goes, he literally puts in the group chat, he goes, Josh Allen, for sale, 8th round pick. I'm like, sitting here, I'm like, I kind of want to jump on that. Like, I was like, sitting here, I'm like, you know what? We're going to do it. So I sent Dame the trade, accepted immediately. So I had to sacrifice Najee as my keeper. So, I'm like, all right, whatever. We do a couple mocks, and I'm sitting here, and I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't know how I'm feeling at 9 anymore now that I gave up Najee. Because, like, I had, like, Joe Mixon drop there at 9. I don't mind Joe Mixon. There's
some good players, but I'm not going to say much because I'm pick 110. So,
yeah,
I'm not hiding
got
my
something
pick.
to worry about
Yeah.
now. I mean, he did jump away from you.
He
did jump away from
you. That's
Yeah.
news to me because now you hop into the mix, and I got to...
Yeah,
I gotta work my strategy a little bit.
It just all depends on what, like, Dexter's a big spot because Dexter, I feel like, can either go. I know you're watching this, Dexter.
1.5?
He has 104. He's
he's
4.
up there now, yeah.
He's 104.
I gotta
So
pull up.
It literally just says like all types of names all over the place. Like if you scroll just a slight bit to like pick 1-3 and like 1-8. You'll just see all different names there. Like nobody owns their picks after that. Like,
and
if I just start a mock,
yeah, if you start a mock, you'll see literally everybody's awesome stuff.
It's just like
the entire first round except for
I think it's Skylar's
my
last
pick?
pick.
That's you.
I think
You
Skylar
and
and Gabe.
And Dre.
Yeah.
See,
and Dre.
I'm not with trading all those picks. I can't get behind it.
A lot of people, I think, they didn't understand like. Last year, if you could put it into perspective, okay, Cooper Kupp was not a top. Well, he was not a top wide receiver on the board. He was not a top 12 guy. I want to say he was in the 16,
he was
18
like wide
range.
receiver, like 10 or 12.
Yeah, he was low. He was pretty low, and he was right next to Robert Woods. And I remember taking Robert Woods over him. So, like, if you think about where Robert Woods is at now, and guys around him, so it's like you give away a 5th or 6th round pick.
You don't know what you're giving
You don't
up.
know
And
what you don't know what you're giving up.
Too.
So
Where
I don't
it's
think
like,
people.
I'm
value
just gonna
it.
stick to my board. Whoever is taken off ahead of me, I'm not gonna worry about other strategies. I gotta just see. I gotta stick to my board, and that's.
It's so hard to like gauge value of draft picks too, like here and there. Like trying to come up with a trade. It's just like.
And it throws off your whole strategy
Yeah.
if you got the 5th pick in the 6th round, the 3rd pick in the 7th
Yeah, because now
round.
you got to
the 10th
think
pick in
everybody's
the
going to
8th
take
round.
these guys, so now you're panicking. You may be able to reach a little bit for a guy that you want, but in terms of Mike, he gave up 3 picks to move up 2 spots in the first, so he's going to have to change his strategy in terms of, all right, let me fill out my entire starting lineup. And then, like, maybe the 2 guys I get, waiver wire, it may be a random guy. Maybe McCole Hartman, who's emerging if he doesn't get drafted. So, it's a lot of things that I think you got to do now in terms of, like, all right, I jumped 2 spots. Who do I want now? I know who you want for, like. I'm not going to say his name because, certain people are watching. But
Like, the thing I'm scared about is, I was trying to give up the 12th pick to Vinny, but Vinny wasn't going with it. And he's like, I'll swap your 10 so you'll have 2 11s and a 10. And I'm like, see, I don't want to give up a 10. So then I kept 10 I kept 10, gave away 11, and then 15. 15, I feel like when we mock, I kind of just like BS it. Like, I just kind of like pick like best player available or like a quarterback. Like I always pick Jameis that pick.
yeah, I'll say that's it. I see you take Jameis every time. I'm not letting that happen.
Yeah,
I ain't letting that happen.
I don't know. I was mocking and I didn't really like how 9 was because like Dame. I kind of know how Dame thinks a little bit.
We all know.
Yeah, I've been around Dame for so long, and I'm like, so I think it comes down to now is Dexter because Dexter, he likes his Vikings players. Mm-hmm. He does, and so if he takes a Vikings player,
Dalvin Cook is Dalvin Cook is he available? Did someone keep him?
No. Nobody
he's
kept him.
available.
Nobody kept him.
Yeah, Dalvin Cook is available, and Justin Jefferson.
Just chalk it
is
up to
available.
Dexter. Just chalk up Dalvin Cook to Dexter right now.
I'm chalking up. Yeah, I think because the way it's set
unless
up,
it's
I think he's gonna get him.
He's not going past 4. That's not happening. Dalvin Cook is.
Yeah,
I think
Justin Jefferson or Dalvin Cook. They're gonna be like it's gonna be like Taylor because I'm picking one now. Yep. So Taylor, probably Jefferson. Eckler,
no surprises
maybe?
there. You're taking Taylor.
No, I'm taking Taylor.
That's the easiest pick. He's
that guy, man. So I'm confirmed. I'm confirmed on Taylor. But you got Dexter right there, who may be reaching or maybe not in his opinion, taking Cook, and then the draft really starts at pick 5. I think. I think that's
just
Reno.
like in real life.
So
Rodney's gonna
switch. He's gonna shake everything up. Literally, he's gonna have guys like Derrick Henry there. So it's like, do I want Derrick Henry? Do I reach and go or not reach? I said or take Najee Harris. So it's a lot of guys in play from that 5 to I want to say about 10 range because you got to reach because it's a lot of guys going.
That 10th pick, I'll be honest. I have 10 pick number 10. Pick number 10 as a whole, I've been mocking. It's a tough spot
It's
to
an
draft.
awful spot
because
to draft,
I just
yeah.
get slim pickings, and you know what? I don't have my third round pick because I have Cooper Kupp as my keeper, so I can't draft a receiver. That 9-10 spot is usually when you see a receiver go in the first round. But
Or
I'm not
Kelsey.
not gonna go the zero running back strategy. It's my own thoughts on that. I'm not going there. So it's like I just have to pick of whoever is left, and I'm just hoping it's not my guy.
Yeah. But, I mean, it's just, number 9. When I was sitting at 9, it was like either I got Joe Mixon or Kelsey was there, or I picked a receiver like Diggs. And I'm okay with that. I just want more of options. A little bit more options. So.
Always got a little too excited to see Josh Allen in the trade block.
Dude, I've never really had Josh Allen in fantasy before, and I was like,
I had him as a waiver wire pickup.
oh, okay, yeah. And so,
Big baller bean.
I feel like for an 8th round pick for him, and then, you give up a second, I mean, there are people who are going to be weird, and we're probably going to reach on him anyways, so I mean,
is he really a reach anymore? Sean made that point in one of our episodes where
I
it's
wouldn't
you
take
could
him
draft
first round.
No,
No.
I wouldn't take him. I mean, well, in our league it's different because with the keepers and whatnot.
Yep.
So anybody can go anywhere almost. With you keeping Cup, I did not want you to keep Cup. I voted for Dawson Knox. I was spamming Dawson Knox. Like, I'm going to make 10 accounts like Dawson Knox. Like, we got 10 followers. Like, yeah, it's all me, Dawson Knox, every time. So I was so mad you took Cooper Kupp because I had my eyes on him at 1-3. But not really because I knew Austin was shopping him. So I was like, all right, he's going to be gone. But I mean, like,
that was I think, the only time I traded a pick this year.
Exactly, and even then, you got a great return. Like,
Yes.
I mean, Cooper Kupp
Take
is
it.
he's a top 3 pick in redraft. So you're lucky. You're real lucky. Man.
Listen, man, if you want Najee Harris, and
Yeah,
you
he'll
want to
probably
keep
be
him,
there. He'll probably
No.
be the slim pickings that's left for me at 10.
well, no, I'm just saying if you
He's
want,
not a bad pick,
if you
but-
want to guarantee him at 10,
brother.
we can make a trade happen.
That's not
and
Live trade,
free
right
up
now?
Cup, free up
Live
Cup.
trade right now. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
I think this is my take on takes on trades and picks. So guys see that trade block is open, and they just want the adrenaline rush of trading. They don't even know like what they're giving up or what they're taking away because they're not thinking that far ahead. They just see, I want that adrenaline rush of getting that trade. I want the
they
group
want the
chat to
last
react.
laugh. They want that last laugh.
So I don't know. It's all a crapshoot during the draft because if you take a look at the team you drafted in fantasy and then you look at the team you finished with,
Yes,
you
it's
maybe got your first two
it's
picks.
so different. I tell people all the time, like, all right, if you post your team in week 6, you're gonna be like, wow, I don't remember having him, or damn, I gotta start Jeremy McNicholson because such and such is out. Like, what happened? Where did I go wrong? But
Starting Rex Burkhead.
It's like you like, oh my god, I just picked up Rex Burkhead and I'm 1-4. Like, what am I gonna do? Like, and that's what happens, So. And when there's injuries and stuff, I think you want to have almost at least 15 picks. When you start giving away too many picks and not having enough picks, that's where it gets tough because you're going to be in a waiver all the time.
Yeah. I want to talk about last show a little bit. I mean, me and Jules were clowning about it in a group chat other day, and so I had my brother on, and he decides. I know you're probably gonna watch this, Anthony. I don't really care, but he says Isaiah McKenzie you pick him between rounds 4 and 7.
No, you're lying.
I'm sitting here. No, I swear to God. Like, watch through it, and like he says it.
I got. I'll
He
be
says
honest.
it.
I was a fake fan. I got through about 25 minutes, and then I haven't been able to listen
fake
to the rest of
fan
it.
Oh.
But hey, listen, your dad's story about being at the Super Bowl was great.
Oh yeah,
that was awesome.
I had to ask.
But that take, Isaiah McKenzie in the 4th to 6th round. I mean, let's think about the 4th to 6th round, like
Yeah,
players
that's what
that
I'm
are up
saying,
there.
like,
Like,
oh my lord! I heard. I'm like,
you're
4 to
taking
7.
Isaiah McKenzie over Michael Thomas.
14th
No.
to 17th, more or less.
Yeah, and I just sat there and I'm like I'm like, you just said that, and so I just I don't want to like completely like put him like in the ground, but like I was just like, he'd be like a nice bench guy. I mean, it's not wrong.
Like, he's like, no, he's a wide receiver 2. He's a flex guy. Like,
Flex on and off the roster, maybe. But
yeah,
he might be like the 5th wide receiver, I think.
yeah,
Like, to be fair.
if you're playing a triple flex, yeah, solid on a triple flex team.
yeah. And then he also asked me I didn't even realize he was going to ask me this. He just came out of the blue. He was like, well, what are your top 5 receivers? And I was like, oh, God. I had to, literally think on the spot. I didn't even have it, ready. So I just started spamming out names. The top 5 I'm comfortable with, but from 5 to 10, I was kind of just naming guys.
Yeah, you started spitting out some names, and I know Dane got mad. He didn't hear no Tyreek Hill in the top 5.
Yeah.
So. I mean, it'd be like that, man. There's so many talented wide receivers. It depends what you think is most valuable, really.
Yeah.
Location also plays huge into it. That's why Tyreek Hill's moving down rankings.
Yeah, it's where you play.
How do you guys feel about what I said? I mean, I said Cup 1. I said Chase and Jefferson 2 and 3, and then I said Diggs at 4, Adams at 5.
So I have that same top 5, just in a different order. That's my list. My number 1, it's 1A and 1B. Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson right now. They're the two hottest receivers in the league right now. I got Cooper Kupp at number 3. You can't ignore his production from last year. Devontae Adams at 4. I like him and Derek Carr. It's going to be an interesting role, and Darren Waller also is there, so you don't know how much that ceiling goes, but he's still, top receiver in the league. If he was on Green Bay, we'd be probably talking about him.
Yeah, he would be the one, exactly. So.
And then number 5, I got Stephon Diggs.
Yeah. How do you feel about that, Jules?
I'm gonna start it off with saying I don't think Kupp is number 1, and this is my thing. All right, Kupp's he's all right. He was a Triple Crown winner. I get that. I don't think stats can determine how good you are, because I could look at Justin Jefferson and be like, he does everything better than Cooper Kupp. Jamar Chase, he does a lot of things better than Cooper Kupp. A lot of people do a lot of things better than Cooper Kupp. I just think he's good at everything. He has the numbers to back him up. He had the quarterback and the system that believed in him. So obviously I get why Kupp is usually at 1, but I'll say number 1, I still have Devontae Adams there. In terms of skill, one of the best releases in the league. And then I got might shake you up, but I'm gonna say Jamar Chase. I'm gonna say Jamar Chase is definitely number 2.
Fair.
And I'll go.
He's my 1 on my list.
Yeah, he's literally I was like, he's the big play guy. He's great to have. I mean, you've seen in that Chiefs game, it changed the game. And when you got a guy like that, and I think playmakers like that are they come a dime a dozen. You get them a lot, but when you get a guy like Jamar Chase, who's strong, who can jump high, he's fast, he can run by people.
You look back and laugh at the training camp
exactly
from last year.
It's crazy to think that how low he slipped in fantasy. You don't lose points for drops. you only get points for catches. Even if he drop it to interception, that's not a point you lose. So it was crazy. So I got Chase at 2, and then I got Justin Jefferson at 3, Cooper Kupp at 4. And I'll say it's a tie between Diggs and Hill. I still have Hill up there right now, but
you see that
I see
that
why
Tua got the deep ball.
He getting there. I mean, but that's not I don't think that was ever the problem with Tua, man. It's the sideline to sideline stuff. It's he's letting it slip. He's real stagnant. It's all arms sometimes. You see the ball just slip out sometimes. So I'm not the biggest Tua fan, but I see why they went with Tyreek instead of a guy like Devontae Adams.
Take a shot of Fireball or something.
Yeah,
he
got
loosen up the bones a little bit.
You know what I'm saying? He got to get, just loose. He's real stiff, and it's when he runs, every step is just he's stomping when he runs. And it's he got some things to figure out, but I think he'll be. I think McDaniels is definitely gonna put him in in a good position to succeed. I think this is the offense that is gonna really show him that, all right, if I make a mistake, it's okay. I got playmakers on me, like Edmonds, Hill, Waddle, Gesicki, who will catch almost anything if it's thrown to him. So, I mean, he got some guys that can make plays. He don't got to do everything with his arm.
Yeah, I think, for my standings, Kupp, I think he's going to go down the boards because of what we learned about with Stafford's injury. Stafford, yeah, I mean, after what I read about him, he has that, it's elbow, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, his elbow is screwed.
We're talking about a guy, though, that is probably, if not one of the toughest players in the league.
Yeah, he played through some stuff. I think
back to him, what was he playing on, a broken leg or a fractured leg?
It was a fractured bone. I forgot where it was at, but it was definitely a fractured bone.
I know he broke his shoulder bone.
That's what it might have been.
Or collarbone.
Yeah. Collarbone. He played through it. And won the game.
Threw a game-winning touchdown, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he deserved
this injury that he had was on through the whole offseason.
Yeah.
And, I mean, hey, they still won the Super Bowl, so I don't know. Yeah. I'm not going to put too much investment in his injury right now. Does he play week 1? Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Is it going to show during that first game when the adrenaline's pumping? Not at all.
Probably not.
It was
plus you gotta think. Walford versus Allen. I mean, sign me up, man. Sign me up for some scrambling men. Just throwing on the run every single play. Like, let's just do that. Let's do that the whole game.
Miller got the inside scoop.
He got the inside scoop on him. And he got the inside scoop on Stafford. So it's like, let's put the backup in. Let's play a mind trick. Yeah, it's Akers game actually.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna say like Cup's gonna fly off. Like, it's just I do think the media they might be blowing this a little bit out of the water too.
I mean, take a look at the time of year. There's no games yet. Not even preseason started. Somebody needs clicks.
Yeah.
Everyone is gonna be like, I don't know. Matt Stafford's elbow hurts. I think he's done for the year.
Yeah, McVay is that kind of coach too. To like he's like, his elbow hurts, and it's like, oh, you have that look on his face like something's wrong, and it's like nothing's wrong, He's just a guy. He's full of energy. So when he says stuff like that, it's like you take everything serious with McVay because he's a smart guy, and if it's something he's never seen, he's concerned for his quarterback. I mean, he gave him his first Super Bowl ring of possibly many. So I mean, why not? All right, let's rest him all throughout training camp. Let's rest him through preseason. Let's take it as slow as possible. Why not just wait until week 1? But it's a risk because if he's not warmed up, he's not ready. The Bills are gonna give it to him. They're gonna blitz him. There's gonna have a great secondary around him. He's gonna be in a shootout. Josh Allen has been waiting for a TV game for so long like this. Like, this is as big as a game is gonna get. The opening night is ring night. I'm here to ruin the night. I'm literally here to ruin the night. So,
Josh Allen gets to be the villain.
For the first time. I don't know about the
he was
first
the underdog going up.
He out there fighting. I don't know if it'll be the first time. I think he's just so pumped for the season, man. Like, I'm nervous to see what Josh Allen gonna do because like. He's the kind of guy that every time he faces adversity, he comes out better. And like the Texans playoff game, even the Chiefs playoff game last year, he came out better and better. And it's like he had the perfect game against the Patriots.
I think about that a lot.
So it's like every year, it's like, okay, he had a heartbreaking moment, he's ready. And I think this might be the year where everything just comes together. I mean, Diggs had his heartbreaking moment. Allen did. Everybody on the defense definitely did. I mean,
Gabe Davis had a 4-touchdown, 200-yard game.
I'll say Gabe Davis.
He's hungry.
He's ready. He's ready to show the league something. So I mean, that Bills team, man. They're ready. So if Stafford's not ready, then they better get ready.
OBJ down the stretch.
Yeah, exactly. It might be like a week 10, week 12 kind of range.
Talk about relief pitchers.
Exactly. That's going to be the guy that like, all right, let's slow it down now. Diggs no more that many targets. Jameson Crowder. Come out the field. It's not your time. So y'all gonna have a lot of good weapons, and I think actually I got something else about Josh Allen, but I'll let y'all continue. Got something else about Josh Allen, but I'll let y'all continue.
Okay. Just before we move on to our next segment, I mean, is there a receiver? We talked about the good receivers. Is there a receiver in fantasy that we should stay away from? Like, as like if you're telling like people are listening right now.
Who are we fading?
Like, somebody who needs to be faded away. That's up there. Like somebody you don't trust.
So a guy I've been avoiding a lot lately in mocks, and it's nothing against him. I mean, he's young. He's gonna be a player in the NFL. He was drafted early, and I think I know what I'm talking about is Drake London. Mm-hmm. I don't trust the Falcons offense just yet. So like where he's getting taken at is just way too high for me. And same with Kyle Pitts. Is like I like him. He's talented, but he scored 0 touchdowns last year. So like if you're expecting him to have a crazy jump, that's asking for a lot. So I mean, I think Drake London, he'll be great one day, but I don't think it's a rookie year guy. You take him.
No, he's a good
even
pick
so he's even they're even taking him as like wide receiver 1. So I don't like it. I would say stay away from Drake London for sure. I probably wouldn't touch him.
Okay. Let's go on to our next segment. Let's go to Take It to the Bank. We're gonna take it to the bank. This week, I mean, we actually didn't do it last week. My dad and my brother don't sports bet, so I couldn't really just throw out numbers and they'd be like, yeah, like,
like plus $1 million,
plus $1 million. Like,
Tone goes, yeah, that sounds right.
That sounds right. Yeah. So, I was looking on the 2 top fantasy apps, FanDuel and Fantasy Kings. Wow, DraftKings. And I was looking at future passing yards. And I thought, it was interesting. Like I wrote down the top 5 passing yards for this season to end. Justin Herbert has the best odds at plus 650 out of everybody, all quarterbacks in the NFL. Brady is at plus 800. Mahomes also plus 800. You have Carr at plus 1,000. Stafford plus 1,000. Allen at 1,200 plus 1,200. Out of those would you take to the bank? Like, would you put money on?
All right, so let's say you give me $100 free bet, and I wanna take a risk. I'm taking Josh Allen, and it reiterates what I said earlier. They got the receivers to literally throw the ball for 48 minutes. You know, like they run the ball by throwing the ball. So a lot of people got lucky during the season where the Bills, they might have been up 3 touchdowns. They didn't want to throw the ball. Sometimes you get, Brady, who was throwing the ball endlessly for almost no reason, to guys like Fournette, and that's literally piling on yards. So I think Josh Allen's going to be in a lot of shootouts this year. I think he's going to be, even week 1, is going to set the tone for the year. I mean, you got to get a couple 400, 450 passing yard games in there, but I would say Josh Allen, he has the best value there. I think Derek Carr is too high for one. I get why he has a very serviceable receiver corps, but he has a better running back than Josh Allen does. He has Josh Jacobs, and Kenyon Drake is one of the highest paid backup running backs in the league. So I think they invest a little bit more in the balanced offense. So I think he's too high, but Josh Allen for sure. I think that plus 1,200, man, like, I mean,
disagree with you.
He had to disagree.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm a big Josh Allen fan, but I think his running potential limits his total passing yards.
I understand that.
So I'm taking Brady at plus 800. I mean, he like you even said, like, he'll just be throwing the ball for no reason. They'll be up by 30 in the fourth quarter, and he's chucking the ball. Yeah. Like, at his old age, too. Like, at his big age of 43, 40.
I think he's 44 now.
44?
I think he just turned 44.
He's going to keep throwing until he can't use his arm anymore. So anytime that I take a look at these total passing yards, I think Brady actually led the league in passing yards.
He did last year, yep. Last year, yep.
So I'm taking Brady at plus 800. That's almost a gimme to me.
Yeah, I might have to side with Jules here. I mean, Josh Allen at plus 1,200. I mean,
it's good value. Don't get me
wrong.
Great
value. That's what I'm saying. That's the value.
Yeah, and plus 1,200. Then to compare it to Brady's 800. I mean, that's when you got a good amount of money, say $100 free bet.
All right, I'll give you guys this. If I were to say, I'm gonna flip a coin right now. If you guess correctly. If you guess correctly on where it lands, you get the full 100, or I could just not. I won't flip the coin at all, and you can have $50. What are you taking?
I'm flipping the coin.
You're flipping. Okay, all right. So there's the philosophy. All right, you're true. I get it.
Yeah. Do you think like Herbert should be above everybody else on this list? Do you think he is?
No. I think him and Josh Allen have that same mentality where it's like that rushing. I mean, to Justin Herbert a lesser extent. Yeah. But he almost has a cap due to his rushing ability.
Yeah. I would say about Herbert, I get why he's up there, because you got to look, like, I think they associate passing yards with, like, MVP. They have Brady second because Brady could win MVP, and if you usually have the most passing yards, that means you did a lot of work. Usually, but sometimes it's on losing teams, people in a bad environment just throwing the ball game.
You want a value?
Oh, you want a value?
Where's Dak Prescott on this
Dak Prescott list? Actually, I had a sleeper pick. I was gonna say in value, but sleeper pick. I think Prescott is plus 1,600. Yeah, he's like, I want to say 1,600. I would take. Before he broke his leg, he had I think 2,500 yards.
He's someone else that just throws it to throw it. Like, he'd have regular. He was averaging 320 yards a game at one point.
Yeah, he was going crazy. Like I said, the year he broke his leg, I should say, not almost, but he broke his leg. He was leading the league, I think, by 600-700 yards. So it was like nobody was catching him, and that was the year Deshaun Watson.
And that's the thing; they were in games where it was a close game, so he had to keep throwing, and they were just on the bad side of the coin every single time. But if it's down there, I mean, I think I would take Dak Prescott for total passing yards over Josh Allen.
Yeah. Other notable names, we have Burrow at plus 1,200. Dak is plus 1,400.
I'd take that.
And then Aaron Rodgers is plus 16.
Yeah, I'm not touching Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers is going to be seeing extra receivers after his hallucinations.
I mean, we could say he could get to maybe 4,500, I would say. That would be a good range, but I don't think that's enough to lead the league. With 17 games, I don't think that's enough.
Just about to say, not in 17
games. Not in 17 games, no.
Yeah. You could see 5,000. I could totally see 5,000 being thrown this year. I don't know who.
I would say
there's going to be that team that starts out hot, but we might see 5,000 this year.
Yeah, 100%.
Maybe Mahomes.
I think Brady had
is another
5,200. Brady had 5,200 last year, but he was throwing the ball. I think he even played as hard as he possibly could in a lot of games where he probably shouldn't have. And you see it kind of put them in a bad spot because like they were fatigued when they lost Chris Godwin. That's when he really started throwing the ball. When you lose a guy, you really start throwing the ball almost endlessly. It seems like because you don't have the security blanket, you're just throwing it endlessly.
53-16 was Tom Brady.
That's insane. Like, and that's probably what 400 yards a game almost. Like, oh.
I think a game that I know what you're talking about is like the Saints games.
Yeah, he was going so hard to show something.
Throwing pick sixes.
Yeah, and it's like you're throwing it to throw it just because I guess you want to assert your dominance, or maybe you're going for MVP. I don't know what it is.
I don't think he's beaten the Saints yet coming into Tampa.
Besides the wild card game last year.
Yeah, the wild card game.
Besides that, they are. I think they're 0-4 against New Orleans, and that's actually crazy to think about.
It is crazy.
Justin Herbert was at 5,014 last year.
So
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that. Makes sense. Why
it makes sense why he's the favorite. Patrick Mahomes was at 48.39. Stafford was at 48.86. Derek Carr was up there.
He was, yeah.
At 48.04.
But he also had that boy Deshaun Jackson who was creating the literally 60, 70-yard catches maybe once every 2 weeks. So it's like
Josh Allen at 44.07.
Allen did have a bump down from his 2020
season.
You
want to know who was above him? Dak Prescott.
Dak Prescott, yeah.
449.
I feel like you gotta have Dak Prescott at least 1,200.
I would swap out Dak Prescott and Derek Carr. Probably.
Although, did Josh Allen play the last game? Did he play Week 17? He played a quarter,
played,
right?
I want to
half,
say,
possibly.
I don't know how much he played. I don't remember him finishing that game though.
Yeah, so you could even you could chalk on another 120 yards if you're looking at it.
Played the first half. I was at the game. It was against the Jets. Yeah, first half, and I think Barkley came in like the second half.
You know what? There's my take again for against Josh Allen because the Bills are going to go up in some of these games, and they're going to put Josh Allen to the bench. Week 17, if they're in a good spot, or Week 18 now, he's not going to play. So
this year for sure. Like, let's save him. Like, why waste plays? Why waste time? Let's just get him ready.
I could see this same stat line happening again, around 4,500 yards.
Yeah. So let's go to. We're gonna talk about sacks. Go to the other side of the ball. We talked about passing yards, quarterbacks and passing yards. We're gonna talk about sacks. So we have.
Pause.
Whoa, that's crazy. Nah, you're OD. I ain't even gonna lie. That's crazy.
I might have to leave after that one. I might have to leave after that one. Yeah, let's talk about sacks.
All right.
Big sacks. All right.
The Big Sack Podcast.
Big Sack Podcast.
Big sacks. Let's go.
TJ Watt had the best odds at plus 600. Got Myles Garrett plus 750. We have Nick Bosa plus 1,000. Chandler Jones plus 1,200. And then we have a notable guy in Aaron Donald at 1,700.
Imagine Aaron Donald leading the league in sacks. Like, that would just, tack on to, the superhuman stats that Aaron Donald has.
If I had to pick somebody, all right, it's obviously TJ Watt. And the reason is because, all right, this guy played 15 games last year, and he didn't finish every single game that he actually played in. He ended some games pretty short, obviously, to injury. He had 22.5 sacks. Nobody was close. Yeah. Nobody was close. And so you think he's led the league the past 2 years. So if you're going to bet on somebody, you better bet on him soon because that line's going to jump up. He's going to be plus 200 in week 2. Yeah, I understand why a guy like Aaron Donald's up there, but he's not going to lead the league in sacks.
Take TJ Watt while he's still at
TJ. Literally take TJ because this is as low as he'll possibly get. Unless some freak injury happens, he's gonna have you confident in that bet at least until probably about week 13.
I'm kind of shocked about Nick Bosa and Chandler Jones being up that high too. Chandler Jones is getting old.
I mean, he did have a
Nick Bosa has Khalil Mack on the other side of him.
Yeah, I mean, Nick, with Nick Bosa, my thing with him is,
I'm thinking of Joey Bosa. Nick Bosa. Nick Bosa could, honestly, okay, Nick Bosa.
Yeah, with Nick Bosa, it's so consistent. It's 1-1-1, you know what I'm saying? 1 sack a game almost. And it's not like he's going to explode for 4 or 5 sacks, which TJ Watt does, which Myles Garrett has done. Even Aaron Donald does it. I'm sure he's going to miss Russell Wilson because he used to sack Russell Wilson literally 4 or 5 times almost a game or even a season. So it's a guy like Aaron Donald, a guy like Nick Bosa, it's hard to see them leading the league. Like I said, take TJ Watt. It's simple as that. But I do have a value pick, as I always do. Micah Parsons. Now, he didn't start the season where he ended the season. He started the season in pass coverage. and Brady picked him apart. And then I think the week after, he got picked apart again. This is about, so they realized, all right, let's have you freelance. Let's let you blitz when you're on a blitz. You're going to stop the run. Here and there, you play pass coverage. And he ended up, I want to say, with 14 sacks, maybe 14 and a half. I think
Micah Parsons finished at 13.
13? Okay, so I would say he would have in the 17 to 18 range. He'll keep you confident throughout the season.
Looking at TJ Watt, I'm looking at the numbers from last year.
It's crazy.
It's stupid. He's at 22 and a half sacks. And in second place is Robert Quinn with 18.5.
And that's a great season. 18 and a half is like, all
That's
right, I did
insane
everything
season.
I could. That's a sack a game. And that's not enough because TJ Watt had a 4-sack game.
I don't know if I could see Robert Quinn doing that again this year, though.
That's going to be without Khalil Mack out there. That Bears, they're going to be in the field a lot though.
I still see 10 sacks, but
I think double
it's
digits, but
18.
18
is
was
tough.
up there. That's top. Yeah, that's top 3.
He played with the best 2 pass rushers in the last couple of years. He had Aaron Donald a couple years back, and now he had Khalil Mack. I mean, he's going to be the best pass rusher now, which he should be. I mean, Robert Quinn's very talented and he's good off the edge, but it's hard when you don't got a guy like Aaron Donald, a guy like Khalil Mack to take that pressure off of you. So
what about Myles Garrett, your boy?
Myles Garrett. Now the thing with Myles Garrett, he disappears sometimes in the big games. So like the only reason that he had so many sacks, that Bears game. I know everybody remember the Bears game. I think he had 5.5 or 6 sacks.
Ridiculous.
He was going crazy. I think we ended the game with 11 sacks. We don't play the Bears this year. We play a lot of tougher teams towards the end of the season. In games that he disappeared last year, those are the games that end the season. So I wouldn't be confident in having Myles Garrett as my pick. And I think he's a little bit too high. I don't think he plays every down with the same tenacity like TJ Watt, like a Nick Bosa, like a Micah Parsons.
It's going to be a different game for the Browns, too, this year.
A whole different game. Literally a whole different game.
Yeah.
Trey Hendrickson was at 14.
Yeah, Hendrickson.
It's another value pick I could see. I can't see him leading the league, but if you have a prop bet on him, I would take it.
Or like a 20 or 30 on him, maybe.
We got money.
Something.
All right. So, now that we have the season until until the Super Bowl, we have some kind of football.
Yes.
Thank the
That's
Lord.
a blessing.
This is our first show in season. This is
Literally,
our first
actually,
season
it
show.
Yeah. Did you guys end up watching the Hall of Fame game at all? Or?
I was working. I couldn't see it.
I was bowling. I looked up here and there. I know some people had the under. And it was 27-3, and under was 30.5, and everybody's sitting there just looking up, like, oh my god! And then they went for 2 just to rub salt in the room, like Jesus, bro. But I didn't watch too much. I know Josh Jacobs played which was
that's a shocker.
It was a shocker. I'm like, Josh Jacobs is playing the Hall of Fame game, but that shows you that running back group is steep. They had a lot of guys in the backfield, so I mean, it's gonna be interesting. I think we're at that point where we need to definitely at least be watching our teams. Because we're going to have rookies out there. We're going to have second-year guys, third-year guys, even trying to compete for a roster spot. It's going to be fun, but the Hall of Fame game, I thought nobody was playing, and then I checked, Josh Jacobs is playing.
Yeah, the Raiders had some starters out there, but Jacksonville barely played anybody.
Yeah, and it's crazy where both teams ended up last year. So it shows you.
Take this for what you will. I mean, this was one of the headlights of the game. Raiders O-line Dylan Parham, the rookie, did not allow a single pressure in his first NFL game.
I mean, that's pretty
impressive. Do you put any investment in that?
I do, because the Raiders, they've been searching for an offensive line for so long, it seems like.
Finally have someone to grasp
it's
on.
Something always goes wrong with their offensive line. So, I mean, that's good. That would definitely make Josh McDaniels a little bit more confident, I feel, in his team, because he had great offensive lines in New England.
Yeah, with the Raiders, I feel like they've just been reaching on offensive linemen.
That's really what it is.
Like, Alex Leatherwood was a guy who I just did.
Everybody look at it like,
everyone saw that pick.
That's a Raiders pick.
Yeah.
And that was that Mike Mayock era where they were, where he would take he was a walking hot take.
Literally, like how can I ruin this draft?
Yeah, man.
Jesus.
And then Colin Miller, I mean, he was a first-round pick, but he just didn't really play like a first-round pick. He had his, spurts here and there. I mean, I think he still is the tackle there, but it's just he's still underwhelming. Yeah. Let's go into the rest of our Week 1 preseason games. They all start Thursday. Wrote down a couple notable games. We have Cleveland at Jacksonville this week. Are you excited for anybody in particular?
I don't know anybody that playing besides Deshaun Watson. They said that he will play a series or 2.
Okay.
Depending on, I know, right?
And 20 months?
Yeah, something like that. That's going to be literally depending on if he gets suspended indefinitely. If he's suspended indefinitely, he cannot play. But
I don't know the rule with
for
preseason.
if it's a number,
so they can play in preseason. Okay.
It's kind of like the Brady thing when he was suspended for the 4 games, but
yeah.
he played like I think almost full quarters. I remember against the Lions, he was playing like full quarters. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? But I get it. Like he's not gonna play for a whole month. So.
Yeah. We also have Indianapolis at Buffalo.
That's a yearly game. I'm the player I'm excited to watch the most is going to be Cook.
James Cook.
Give me James Cook. I don't think he's going to be that like superstar running back that some Bills fans are putting him out to be. I think he's going to be that great change of pace, J.D. McKissick type player that the Bills had, but then so that James Cook pick was, that was kind of in spite. So I think he's going to do good. I think he's going to be a good change of pace back, but I've heard that Zach Moss has been doing decent. Another name to watch out for. I guess he's got drowned in the depth chart a little bit with James Cook.
And that happens to like these younger guys. Like, all right, Zach Moss. I remember he had that 3 touchdown game like in like week 2, week 4, week 3, something like that. Early in the season, he's like healthy scratch towards the end of the season. It's like, I mean, we get it. You can have one game, but like you're not having good practices. You're not being consistent. We're gonna have to put you on inactives. Like you're gonna have to be there.
I don't count out Devin Singletary at all yet.
I never.
He's still the starter, and he's still like a bad itch. Like he's still staying there,
staying around.
So I'm really interested to see that running back rotation in week 1.
Yeah, I have 2 guys that I'm really excited about. I have Khalil Shakur.
Yep.
Receiver.
I heard a lot about him actually.
I'm kind of scared about how much they're hyping him up.
Round 2 pick. Round 2.
Khalil Shakur. I've been hearing a lot of good things about him, and I have him, and then I have Bernard, the linebacker from Baylor.
Yes,
I heard from camp he's been everywhere. Like his coverage skills have been great. Like I don't know, man. Edmonds might need to watch out.
I'm about to say, Edmonds, watch Edmonds get tore up in coverage. I mean, I always think about that, the Buccaneers game. They put him in coverage, and he was just supposed to just slide, and then, you know what I'm saying, and then sit. He didn't slide. The guy, Bernard got past him, and then literally just took him to the house.
I was reading on The Athletic, Joe Biscaglia put out a piece about his notes from training camp for the Bills. And Christian Benford who is the 7th round pick, I think, out of Clemson, right?
He was. What pick is he?
He's from a big school,
Villanova.
I know for
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. He's from
Villanova?
Yeah.
Okay.
But he was up there with Kair Elam in
reps.
Yeah. And he was fighting for that extra boundary spot, which I didn't think the Bills drafted him to be a boundary player. I thought he was more of an inside guy, but you might see him come week 1 as the star. It might be Kair Elam on one side and Christian Benford on the other. He's fighting Dane Jackson and Kair Elam for reps.
Yeah, I mean, and I feel like with Benford, he's a 6th round pick. The last 2 years, we've barely even kept our 7th and 6th round picks. So to see a guy, step like that and getting the value out of our draft, would be nice, but. We'll see. I mean, the depth thing at cornerback, does worry me a little bit. Depending how long Trey White is out for, we don't know still.
Cornerbacks aren't having a great camp either. I mean, you're facing Josh Allen too. But.
Yeah, he's probably tearing you up every day and then telling you about it. Like, all right, buddy, calm down. Like.
Yeah, and they've been scuffling at Bills camp too. They've been getting in a fight almost every day, and I know a lot of Bills fans are getting worried about it. But it's football.
Yeah, I like it. I like it too because all right. Don't touch me. Like, all right. Now it's like a little push battle here and there. And that didn't escalate to nothing. Nobody helmet got thrown off.
Right.
Helmet got taken to the ground. It was nothing to worry about. It wasn't like Cam Newton and Josh Norman. Like,
that level
of fighting that's like,
that was real beef.
That's like, all right, I've been waiting to get on you. Like, nah, like, that was just like, all right, bro, calm down kind of thing. And it's like, all right, now we're ready. That's it. They're just
you
ready.
want that competition in training camp. It only makes both players better. And you saw some players talk about that. I think Stephon Diggs said something like that. Like, it's real tough love.
It's
really
football,
tough
man.
love.
That's what happens on the football field. And then the next day, it's all squad.
You hear all the time about players. Like, it's a brotherhood at the end of the day. Like, none of that really means anything beyond those 100 yards.
Yeah. Next game I have on our list, Miami at Tampa Bay. So, we might see a little bit of Miami's offense, depending on who they start. Maybe a little bit of Tyreek Hill action.
I think Mike McDaniels keeps it really vanilla.
You think so?
Yeah, he strikes me as the type of coach to not put any cards out during the preseason. Like, he's going to go into the season feeling confident. I haven't read much about Dolphins yet, but he kind of strikes me as that guy that is really confident in where he's at now. And so we might not see much, if anything.
Yeah, I wish, we had like a phone on here. We could phone a friend, have Dame on the phone.
Actually, Damian told me that Austin Jackson, the tackle that they took the year they took Tua, they say he was looking pretty good. I mean, it's about time, like
he had a rough rookie year.
Rookie year. I mean, second year wasn't as it literally him and Tua have like damn near the same trajectory. Like they literally can't find their footing right now. But if he's doing good and he's helping, I'm saying, the offensive line that's been pretty bad for a long time in Miami. I think that's a guy to just look out for. Like, all right, if he can give Tua the protection, he doesn't have to block for too long. It's gonna be a lot of RPOs, gonna be a lot of quick stuff out of the backfield. So I mean, I think it's a guy to look forward to is Austin Jackson for sure.
I'm going to Miami for that game.
Oh, really?
So excited for that.
Nice.
That's gonna be.
I want to go, man. I need to get some tickets.
I'm so excited just to see the Dolphins and the Bills. I feel like this is the year the Dolphins start putting pieces together. I could see the Miami taking one from the Bills this season.
Really? I mean, they could, but they are the team.
They're
They're the team that haunts the Patriots forever.
Yep.
They're gonna take a crucial game at a crucial point in the season. And make the Patriots change everything. That's literally what they do every year. They change everything.
Bill Belichick's side.
Every time.
I have Seattle at Pittsburgh. We get to see the Seattle, like both teams have this like little quarterback controversy going on. You got Drew Lock and Geno Smith in Seattle, and then you have the 3 quarterback battle they got going on in Pittsburgh with Trubisky, Rudolph, and
It'll be interesting
Pickett.
to see how every quarterback does there.
You're gonna see them all, and I feel like that's gonna be a real interesting game, and just. Yeah, I mean, I want to see what Kenny Pickett is made of. I really want to see if this guy. I mean, it's also preseason; can't really gauge a lot. But I just want to see if this guy was worth being the only quarterback
taken in the
first round. Yeah.
I saw this video earlier when I was driving over here. I was waiting in the parking lot and I saw this video. It's a video of Kenny Pickett throwing the deep ball. I don't know what about it. But it
Doesn't
looks
have
like
anything
it's a
to
bunch
it?
I'm looking at the team and it looks like Pee-wee football. Like it looks like a
Oh,
bunch of
really?
little kids like throwing the football. And everyone was praising him for this crazy throw, but it was like off the back shoulder. It wasn't that great of a throw. I'm like, I don't know how Kenny Pickett's going to turn. I think Mitch Trubisky still has the job.
Okay.
Straight up.
Yeah.
If I had to think of one player I'm looking out for, I'm surprised neither one of y'all said it. George Pickens. I'm really excited to see.
Oh man.
I feel like that's going to be a deciding factor for the QB role. Who can mesh with these wide receivers the best? I don't even care if you have the most talent. We got to put the guy out that's going to get the ball and who's going to have the best relationship. And this guy who was known to be a hothead. I mean, if you could talk to him, if you could have that bond with him. I don't know who's been throwing him these balls, but man, he is going to get them. I don't know how much he can sustain that throughout the whole NFL season, but he's stretching out. I mean, he's grabbing on people's heads. I mean, he's a freak of an athlete, and he was wide receiver 1. In college when he first came out, and like 2 years ago, it was like, oh my God, who is this guy from Georgia? Yeah. Tore his ACL, shortened the season last year, but he ended up with a national championship. So it's like everything didn't go his way, but he's on a team that breeds wide receivers, that knows wide receivers, and Mike Tomlin, I think, is the perfect coach for him.
Yep.
Like he went in the perfect situation, and again, that's a Browns rival, so like there's no winning in this right now. So we have to go against all these uber talented guys that just fall to these teams every time.
Yeah. Last game I have, Panthers at the Commanders. I mean,
it's the Ron Rivera game.
Yeah, Ron Rivera game. They also got, Carolina has Baker, Darnold, see how that's going to turn out. Yeah, I mean, we talked about it a little bit earlier. I want to see, who they use at running back a little bit with CMC and Hubbard. Because Hubbard, I feel like, had a little lackluster season last year.
I think his role gets expanded a little bit this year. I mean, that shouldn't be a hot take or anything. They're limiting CMC's step count. They're doing all the things to keep him as fresh as possible. So
yeah, and another person I'm looking out for Washington is the receivers too. I mean, they have a little bit of a deeper. I mean, if you have Curtis Samuel, who's healthy, Jahan Dotson, Daimi Brown last year.
They literally have everything you need for a wide receiver.
Yeah,
my boy Carson Wentz gonna put it all together. He's gonna his first touchdown throws in. He's gonna do a split right in the end zone.
Eagles.
Yeah, Eagles. Yeah, but if I had to pick one player, I think from each team, you said it, Jahan Dotson. I mean, it's gonna be the wide receivers for me. I feel like across every game it feels like Jahan Dotson. I'm a big fan of his. I think he's gonna be the perfect guy. I mean, they expected Curtis Samuel to do something, but I got a feeling that he might not be a starter when the season actually comes around because when they try to get him back in there, he wasn't making an impact and he got hurt again. So just off year. So we'll see how Dotson does in the offense. But I'm also excited for Terrace Marshall. And I've always been a Terrace Marshall guy. LSU wide receivers, I mean, they're always good. But this is going to be the 3-and-out game, man. Them first 2 series you see out of Wentz and Mayfield, they ain't getting the ball to nobody. So don't invest too much in that first quarter. After that, then you invest. But this will be the 3-and-out. Inaccurate, too high, too low. That's what you're going to see in that game.
Yeah, I mean, that's all I have for you guys. Do you guys have any, closing remarks, anything, to add?
August 26th, man. Like, don't say nothing to me. That's all I got to say.
Got my head down. You're going to see, I've been wanting to, I keep talking about this. I'm going to do some graphics. You might get a little fun draft guide for me coming out. So
okay.
Keep an eye out for that, but... We'll see how it goes. We'll see if I have the ambition to do it still.
Yeah.
You got the ambition, man.
Yeah. One last thing I want to add, something over the weekend we saw at the Bills last Friday with the red, white, and blue practice, with the fans.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. I just want to touch on this real quick. What I saw from some of those fans there at Highmark Stadium, the throwing of jerseys and other kind of memorabilia, chucking them at Allen and Diggs. It's why?
Those aren't real Bills fans.
Yeah, those aren't the Bills fans that you want to be around, man.
Yeah, and it's just they're more than athletes, man. They're more than athletes. They're people.
It's like you want them to sign something. It's like, all right, let's say I'm on top of the roof. I won't be there, but let's say I'm on top of the roof and I throw something to Mike. There's a piece of clothing. How is he gonna get it back to me?
Exactly.
How are you gonna get it back to me?
You're not.
I'm not. All right, can you climb back up here and give me my jersey that I threw at you on the ground? He signed them.
Yeah.
They left them right there. If y'all want to get them, y'all get them. But you're not getting them. The security is not letting y'all down here.
Nope.
Yeah.
So that's what you get for wasting your jersey. And then they threw a football at him, and he's like,
it was like the football in the box. Still,
yeah, and it's
too.
like,
It wasn't even
what is that? Like, how am I supposed to catch this? Like,
Josh, you said.
yeah, I'm like, yo, if you have your franchise quarterback looking at you and talk to you like that, it's like, now it's like, bro, come on.
I'm not showing my face. I'm not going out in public.
Josh Allen don't like me.
That'd be sad as hell.
He remembers your face, man. Trust me.
But yeah, just a message to fellow Bills fans, man. Just gotta be better, because that's
simply be better.
It's that gives us a bad rep, and yeah, just be patient, and obviously every player can't get to everything you sign. They go out there, they sign, and they gotta go and they gotta continue their lives. They don't. They just had a hard practice. They don't want to. They
it's
do.
It's not personal.
Yeah, it's not personal. I'm not ignoring you on purpose. I see you. I'm not giving you an autograph, and then I just go run away. It's literally hey, I just signed autographs a half hour. All right, that's it. I'm good. And that's if you're going to a game or a practice like that, you just gotta. That's what you expect. If you get a sign, you get a sign. It's a great thing.
Yeah, it's like a lottery ticket. You won.
Yeah.
You won the scratch.
Yeah, but if you don't get a sign, don't throw it at the player.
I can't believe that has to be said. That should go without saying.
I don't think they realize how uncomfortable they are in pads or in a helmet. Just put a helmet on for 30 minutes and sit out in 90-degree weather. You're gonna want to pass out and you throwing stuff at me bro, what are you doing? Don't throw nothing at anybody. Just be patient, and they want to get to you. Obviously, they're grateful for you, but there is a limit. You don't cross that line, and they cross the line.
Yeah. One last thing I want to add: the Emerge Fantasy Football League is in. It's going. It's going right now. It's going to happen. We're going to go live. So at the end of this month, we're going to get together. Us, Tank's podcast. Moranto and his podcast as well. We might have a couple other people joining in. But yeah,
it's gonna be a good time.
Yeah, I called them out last week, and they called me out week before, and so
we answered that call.
We answered that call, and there's one thing I want to add real quick. This is coming home. This is coming home.
Jules, I gotta ask you on the
Tank
spot.
And Dylan, come on.
Who I'm taking?
Who are you taking to win the Emerge Fantasy League?
I got my money on Nico at plus 400. He's a favorite. He's a favorite. He's a safe pick. That's a safe pick right there.
Yeah. But
Big Baller Bean might strike and
yeah.
like a thief in the night take that trophy.
Yeah.
One last thing I did want to add is we got our month back. We got our July numbers back for the podcast. Mm-hmm. We broke 10,000 viewers after last year.
People don't realize how hard that is, man.
That's
That's
hard thing,
10,000. Put 10,000 people in a room.
We got we got our first numbers back, and
they
were around I think it was 4,600 for our first month, and we were like, holy crap! That's
you don't expect
that's
it.
great. We didn't expect that many people were listening to us And now again, our numbers came back, and it's not just like 10,000 viewers; it's 10,400 or something like that unique IP addresses that have tuned into the game.
Yeah.
So that means 10,000 different people have tuned in and listened to us talk sports. Just a couple dudes, just a couple dudes from Niagara Falls talking sports.
Hey, man,
it's twins.
There we go. So.
It's crazy, man. You know, I thank you all, and I love all the support and all that. As Jules said, man, doing a podcast, you know, I know we're up here, we're talking about things that we love, but it's a lot of the things that go on outside of...
There's a grind, the planning,
episode,
the prep, the scheduling of guests, and, you know, getting everything together, timing out even when to shoot the podcast. We have alternating schedules, so we don't have, like, that set time to record every week. We've been blessed and fortunate enough to be able to do it around the same time every week to give that continuity to our viewers, but... You know, it's a lot of work, and you know, I commend you for doing it yourself. You found your way up to do it yourself. I mean, you're editing every single episode. You're recording. You're doing takes. You're doing it all, and it's great to see. So all 10,000 different viewers that have listened to us, go hit up the Stigs podcast and show them some love on there.
I appreciate that very greatly. Thank you.
Yes, sir. But, yeah, I mean, that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you, Jules, for coming on as well. Everybody listening to the Stigs podcast. Thank you, Moranto. Thank you, BICPP Network and Matt Johnson.
Follow our socials.
Yeah,
all 10,000 of you, come give us some love
please,
on social media.
Please.
Big Yak Podcast on every single social media.
Yeah, the rest of our accounts are hurting a little bit. I mean, not hurting that bad, but 10,000 to come... Come over.
We're just
on the
late
others.
bloomers on those apps, so we got some good takes. I'm gonna be chopping up the pieces. We're gonna put them on Instagram. We're gonna give Jules some material that he can take home too.
Oh, yeah, thank you for that. For sure, I need some.
Hey, if you ever want us on.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get you guys on, but after August 26th.
Yeah.
I have some questions to ask y'all.
All right, but yeah, that's it. All right, see you guys next week for episode 8 of the Big Yak Podcast. See you guys soon.